Well, she has traveled to infinity and beyond to bring us an amazing DIY that doesn't only serve one purpose, but how many, Orly?
Dose purposes.
For those of you out there who don't speak Spanish, that means two. The bilingual and very talented Orly Shanny is
wonderful, wonderful. I was concerned about this infinity scarf segment. I thought it would never end. We would just keep doing it over and over. And no,
Jolie's not even going to give you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Success.
So these are really hot right now.
Yes. This is one of those things that's just useful. You just need to have it. It's not something that's fun to buy, but when you have an evening event or when you have somewhere where you don't want to throw a jacket on, you need that beautiful shawl that's going to give you a little warmth, a little coverage, but still look kind of fancy. And same with the infinity scarf. It's that go-to thing.
It never goes away.
It's always in style.
That's why.
Do guys wear infinity scarves?
Yeah,
I think
actually
they're cool.
they do.
They do.
Guys
do they really?
wear them, yeah. And they're not as big as the girls' ones, but they wear them.
I like them. I think they're really cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the size here, because that's the same thing.
This is the identical thing right here. These are two of the exact same. One is wrapped as infinity. One is wrapped as a shawl.
Bigger.
So I would say that the average size you want to think about is kind of 35 by 80. It doesn't need to be precise, but around that size is what you would expect to find in a shawl.
Okay.
It'll give you that coverage. It's not so wide that, when you wrap it as infinity scarf, you're like hidden.
So the material matters in that.
So
if it's a thick material,
yes, absolutely.
You'd want to go a little bit smaller.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's something else to consider is if you're thinking about this as an evening option, something like this is really pretty because this is going to look more fancy. It's a silk. It's got a little velvet in it. It's a really pretty option for something fancier. If it's more lounging, something like this is great. Just make sure you reach on the inside and make sure it feels soft. Otherwise, you would need to double it. So that both sides are soft, and then you've got double the fabric. Yeah. So just consider your fabrics.
So how do we make it?
Okay, so I got started earlier today on just the actual structure. So here it is. So I folded my fabric in half and pinned it together. That way I could evenly cut on my edges. Oftentimes when you buy fabric at the fabric store, they cut straight across and they don't create a straight line.
Yeah.
So you can see how uneven it is there on the right-hand side. I just evened it out. That's kind of the very first thing that you want to do. Next up, I pinned the rest of it because it was wider than I needed, right? It was much wider than 36 inches. So I pinned all of it together. That way I would cut evenly. So here I am, pinning. And then what I chose to do was take a shawl that I already had and lay it on. You can see that distance. I gave myself that additional distance because it broke my heart to cut too much of that fabric off. I couldn't bring myself to do it. So you see how that hangs there? So I made it a little larger. And the next is you want to do a rolled hem. That is because if I just did a regular hem, you would see that raw edge, which you don't want to see on something that's kind of fancier. So you roll it once, roll it again, and pin it. And now when I do my hem all the way across on all four edges, see how nice and clean that is? Now it looks really nice when that will inevitably peek out.
So this is a sewing project,
This is a sewing project.
Okay.
This is a sewing project.
Okay.
So I just went around and did it to all four edges.
All right.
Now this is the part that's really fun because this is how it connects. If you're super stud on your sewing machine and you're comfortable with buttonholes, you can do buttonholes on one side and buttons on the other. Buttonholes kind of make people nervous. They make me nervous. Every time I do it, I feel like I screw it up. So what I chose to do was take the opportunity to use really cool closures. So you see these?
That's beautiful.
This, it looks like just a really pretty detail, but the other end of it has the other hook. So see?
Oh my God.
This hooks in. It's a clasp.
Oh, that's
so what it does is it will connect the two ends. So this is how you would put it on. I've done one side. Do you see that little tiny hole right there? See that?
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to loop it in. So now I put it on my fabric, just like this. You do one on each end and one in the center.
Where do you get these clasps?
Wholesale trimming. I think we have the website link is going to pop up there. Wholesale
By the way,
trimming.
you said that very well. Words are hard.
There it is. WholesaleTrimShop.com.
Clasps.
Clasps.
Yes, you
Where
got
do you get those clasps?
So can you see this? I'm coming up.
Very well.
I'm going right through that little hole right there, and then back down.
And they're kind of heavy, so you have to, I imagine, do this a few times.
Yeah, you want to go through maybe, 5 or 6 times, but I'll show you how it connects through. I'm not going to fully tie it off just for time's sake, but it's tightened now. So now what you do is lay it like this, and we're going to connect this side to this side. So now I just go here, I hook that little side on, that one's connected.
There's this
I
one.
take my middle, thank you, sir, to my middle. I hook that one on, and now I take this side to this side.
Oh, this is so
now
cool,
this is fully connected, right? This is what's an infinity scarf. That's the shape. And now you can do two things.
Oh, your needle's still hanging.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
hang on, hang on.
Don't
You're
worry,
gonna-
don't worry.
Where
It's
is
okay.
it?
We don't want to draw blood.
Not
So
like we
here,
did last time.
we can leave this as the infinity scarf, or we can turn it around and we can use the pretty clasps as like jewelry and leave that in the front and let these little clasps here hang because they're so pretty. And that is basically it. So that's the function, and I did that here on these as well. So see these clasps, and there's clasps, and there's all different types. So this is how this one would connect.
Orly.
And now that's just
Even
like that.
looks chic because of how the clasps are so fancy.
It really is. And there's great options like this on the site that we pulled up, wholesale trim. Shop.com, I think it was. We're going to put it up again. And worst case scenario, you want to do this to a shawl you already have, get a really, really pretty decorative safety pin and connect the ends that way.
So
and then it's no sew.
Costs on the clasps
Costs on
and the fabric.
This is about $25 total. Versus probably like $75, if not up.
Probably.
But 25 to
more.
75, yeah.
This would be more.
Fantastic.
Right? I know.